So, welcome, party of heroes, to this week's ShoreShack adventure. Last week, our boys to men.
Anybody else want to tell him we can't hear him?
I can hear him.
Oh, we're doing this again. All right, well, we know that the audio works for the stream. Sorry, John. Our good friend Xander is unable to hear the narrator, but I am but a narrator. And the party had a cave-in last time. They were deep into the shitholes, digging sewage holes for the king to gain a rapport. Good enough rapport that they will listen to this party as a contributor of the town. But while finishing this mission, their exit became sealed. But on their way out through the other northern more exit, they ran into some old friends. We'll pick up with them as well.
Maybe I'm just deaf. I don't know.
Don't worry, you are, John.
Okay. All right. I guess it was just me. All right. So are you ready?
Yes, we could do this again.
No, I mean, are you ready for the intro?
Oh, yeah. Oh, intro!
When you went live, I went dead. I couldn't hear anything. So, very sorry. Here we go.
I will sharpen my axe on my enemy's face.
Hey, where's that gold at?
What are we doing here, man?
Jesus, Jehoshaphat! Where did this fucking hat come from?
It feels good to be back.
Oh, that'd be so cool. Make surfboards with my bunyip. I don't even care about the gold anymore.
All right, welcome, party. After maybe the worst introduction I have ever given in my life, you find yourselves in a cave amongst each other, looking at a door with two dwarven statues, potentially a puzzle. But before we dive into that, I'm going to have a corrective memory segue. On last episode, there was some confusion with boiling lava, that some of you saw the boiling lava and got worried. Some of you thought the people who saw it were absolute dipshits and that they were just seeing things.
Forgot about that.
Eventually, those of you who did see it show. I believe, Xander, you as well.
I think I saw it, right?
Let's go ahead and say so. You were able to eventually get back to work, realizing that after some time and much action, that what you were seeing was not real. The things you saw, though, in some ways similar to each other, was not what the other ones were, what the other people in your party were seeing.
Right.
So you knew that it was fake. So let's just start off. There's a role play piece. Jump into character and tell us how it was that you, your character, found out about these fears and illusions and that they were not real. Xander, starting with you, sir.
Well, I'm not sure that I ever did come out to it and realize that they weren't real. I mean, when I first saw them, I knew we had to get off these rocks because the rocks were sinking and the lava was starting to bubble up extra large. And I did not want to get hit by a lava burst. But, once other people couldn't see them, which I thought they were illusioned to not see the trouble, I had to be seeing the right things because I am, well, wonderful. So,
Of course.
how could I possibly be seeing what isn't there?
As you are, and very good, Xander. Super. You're up next.
Well, I mean, I saw these bubbles. Wasn't a fan. It's time to move. That's all I got to say about that, I guess.
So, how did you take these bubbles? It was a dire circumstance. You thought that the whole cave was coming alive around you. You were a bit mystified. How would your character? How long would it have been until your character realized that what you were seeing was not real? And how would he come about that? Would he test it in some way?
Well, I believe I tried to warn my crew that there was lava coming up beneath our feet, and they said, "What are you talking about?" Or some of them at least did. I assumed that that it was an illusion, but I'm on guard for illusions. Being something of an illusionist myself, I kind of project illusions everywhere I look. Plus, there was some kind of uncanny moaning that I heard, that we all heard in this cave at some point. So I'm on edge for some sort of sorcery or some kind of deception. But it was my crew that alerted me to the fact that I'm not seeing what's really there.
And Mike, are we in front of those dungeon doors right now?
Yes. After we went through that, you guys all are talking to each other. You are in front of these doors. The doors prior on the episode had a puzzle to them. Does anybody, wink wink super, recall what that puzzle was?
Speak, friend, and you may enter is what it was. Something
Indeed.
like that. Yeah. Okay.
And Red Cloud spoke friend in Dwarven, and then the jaws of the two Dwarven statues fell open, their eyes red with the blooms of these fire flowers. One of these statues is holding a fish. The other is holding a battle axe. Just as the jaw drops open, the door in front of you raises just a crack to where you can tell that there is some passage to the other side. A smell fills your nose of stale air that hasn't been touched or intruded upon in what you know in your cave explorations to be a very long time. But that door stops. And just above it, in glowing Dwarven writing, Red Cloud, you see the runes that say, "I smell fire. Feed me," and then 5 blank spaces, or underlines, if you will, that seem like they're looking for a word. "I smell fire. Feed me." Underneath the first blank, you see, underneath all of these blanks, you see a number of hieroglyphs, if you will, pictures.
Oh. Would it be? Oh, sorry. Is it water?
The first hieroglyph is a whale. The second hieroglyph, an apple. The third hieroglyph is a turtle, then an eel, and finally a radish.
A radish. Interesting. Could you repeat that one last time?
Yeah, what was the first one?
Yeah.
Whale, apple, turtle, eel, radish.
What was the first rune?
Whale.
You look and see a whale breaching from the sea.
Is it doing a spin as it comes up?
Blender
Of course. Of course it is.
Wait, so it's whale, apple, turtle, eel, something. I think it's water, right? Is the answer? I smell. Could you say
find a radish in the last one?
a radish? Right? Yeah. Whale, W, apple, A, T, turtle, water. Can you say
How do you spell them in Dwarven? That's what we
I don't
really
know.
need to know.
True. But wouldn't Red Cloud know?
He would know.
Well, are we supposed to fill in the letters, or are we supposed to pour water into like the mouth of the statue?
Good question.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. I guess it wouldn't hurt to etch it for now. I would assume we would, in classic tales, need to bring actual water. And I do have an ability to endure like a fucking tidal wave, but I think that might be a little overkill for what we need here. I mean, I could do like a whole tidal wave of water. Like literally. It's a spell of mine.
I don't think that would be necessary. I think it's probably just going to be because a normal person who would have come to this door would have been probably just had a canteen and just to pour water if that was the case.
Yes, a tidal wave would be too much. Might break the fountain.
True.
So perhaps you could say water in Dwarven. Maybe that's all it takes.
Well.
No, water, not well.
What you get from a well.
Water!
And as you say it, echoes around you in the caverns. Off into the distance, you hear something has collapsed. But the door remains where it is.
I changed my mind. Don't say water.
Just then. No, I'm joking.
Well, I mean, shit. I mean, are we going in here or what? Like, it seems like we're.
Well, I mean, this is where we're at, and my interests are piqued. So,
does everybody agree we can go further?
I mean, we are technically 6 stronger than we were before.
It's
no,
true.
5, 6, 7, 8 stronger than before. Because we still have the 2 mercenaries, and we have the mighty Tommy Two Tones, plus the 5 dwarves. Granted, 3 are engineers, but maybe they can dig us out the other side of this. Who knows? But we do have a pikeman and a crossbowman.
I'm down to go in.
Engineers are involved.
I feel like we might be stretching ourselves thin. I'm a little nervous, but all right. So we heard all those noises, and the doors still remain closed. Can I push on it, and does it open? Or pull?
Roll me a strength check.
Okay.
May I assist him
How are you doing that?
in lifting the door?
Go for it. Roll with advantage.
Give him advantage.
I will
Advantage, super.
16 total versus 6 is what I originally rolled. So,
Well done, Xander. The door still does not budge.
Yes. That's because I have a massive 10 strength. Perhaps if a dwarf had volunteered.
I don't mind pushing on the door.
so
I'll roll.
Oh yeah, you roll. Yeah.
Is there any bowls or anything here that you could place water in?
Right. Yeah. Would there be like an obvious receptacle if you would? Or maybe not
You
so
look around on the ground. Roll me an intelligence, Xander. You look around on the ground and nothing that looks unnatural, nothing beyond what I've
15.
I
described already.
rolled an 18 as I push on this door as hard as I can.
As you push,
Lifting.
behind you, you hear, aha! And Xander comes up with, I'm not giving it to you that easy. No way.
So the door lifted a little bit, right? So I
The
would
door lifted a bit.
right. So I would think maybe we're supposed to just like pour the water like at the foot of the door, and it'll go into the door. It's like an offering kind of a entry. Is the way I look at it.
We can definitely try.
Do we have water?
I would believe we'd have water skins. Yes.
Could we put in a little bit of water?
As you pour water on the floor, you notice it almost blows back from the door itself. There's a draft coming out of, must have been pressurized air that's still seeping through the bottom. But the door doesn't budge. You get the sense that that's not the right move.
Where does the water
We all push on the door.
I'm telling you guys, into the statues' mouths. Give it a try.
Oh, yeah. Sorry, Show.
Let's give it a try.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Let's take our water skins and try feeding the statues water.
All right, who's going on the left one and who's going on the right one?
I'll go on the right one.
We'll go on the left one.
Show, yeah, you can on one. Sorry.
And I will push as you pour.
And I will stand back and watch.
Play your flute.
You see Siddle and Cecil standing there, looking at each other, looking at you all, looking at each other, looking at you all. Is there anything that we can do to help, eh?
Get over here and help me push.
Siddle looks up at the big one, and then Cecil comes up and starts to lift up as well on this door. Siddle stands clear, kind of back where you are, Xander. Rather close to where you are, in fact.
Don't stand close to me.
As the water goes into the mouths, you hear a grumble coming from the mouths of these two dwarven statues. And then in an ominous kind of overcoming tone, you hear in Dwarven, which, Red Cloud, you know is, thank you.
Okay.
Just then, the flowers begin to bloom even more vibrant. The door itself begins to lift up, and then, just then, collapses into the ground. You move your hands just in time to move your fingers out of the way, and it falls through what you thought was solid ground.
Oh, interesting.
The air blows back your hair, if you have it. Sorry, Super. And the other things that you're wearing, if you don't. And you see inside, there's no light, but a white wall in front of you that seems like an almost finished room of some sort. The smell of stale air still fills your nostrils.
All right. Well, I'll fill it with dancing lights. Boop, 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 boop.
As these lights shoot forward and begin to fill this room, it is in fact a fully finished marble room of sorts. There are 3 pillars, totems, if you will, now that are glowing with a reflection of your dancing lights in the center of this room. The rest of the room, though there's a lot of space, is empty.
I always like the dancing lights, Zumpa says. About.
How would you like to enter?
Grandly. As possible.
So Super, as you walk forward, Super says, "Out of my way," and begins to walk forward into this dark but now lit cavern, looking almost in place, though a little shorter than what you would expect for somebody in this room.
Yeah, I understand what you mean. Yeah.
You walk in between the triangle that is built from these 3 pillars of light that are now showing up and down. again, it's light being reflected from these dancing lights. They don't seem to be producing their own light at all. And then in the center of where you are, you look up and you see a scroll on the ceiling, about 20 feet up, fully extended and almost magically just sitting on the ceiling. You squint to try to look at it, but with your passive scores, you aren't able to make out what it says or what language it's in from the distance.
How high up is it?
20 feet.
20 feet. So 14 feet.
Do the rest of you coming in?
Yeah, I'll go in.
I'm coming in.
Yes, definitely. Yes.
So Super catches wind of this up here, but those of you who are taller than Super, when you walk in, you notice the pedestal that these lights are on. You look down, and you notice some items within a hole in these pedestals that goes further down. In one of them, there seems to be a bow. In another, a brilliantly wicked-looking pickaxe. The third, though, is opaque. Where you look down and there is something sealed underneath within that chasm, if you will.
This is underneath the pillars or inside the pillars?
The hole goes through the pillars, but it seems to be under the ground.
Okay.
And
Red Cloud.
they're under
Yes.
the ground. We can't just grab them. Like, we see them, but we can't get to them.
Yes, you go to put your hand to. Do you want to test it? I guess, if you will.
Yeah. I would like to reach out to one of these items.
Yeah, you reach out and your hand can go through the light, but then as you go down, it's just a force that you can't seem to push through. It almost frustrates you. You pound on it, and it just hurts your hand a little bit. There's no way to get through.
This puzzle's a lot trickier than the last one.
Yeah, could you describe it one last time so I could write it down? I feel like I need to visually be able to see what I'm to understand.
Yes. Imagine a triangle. 3 points of a triangle. These are all pillars of light coming up.
Right.
In the one on the right is a bow. In the one on the left is a pickaxe. And the one straight ahead of you is opaque.
You mean you can't see what's inside it?
Right. There's something missing.
Correct.
So a bow, a pickaxe. And so what would be the third missing item from that? A bow, a pickaxe, a sword would be a kind of one that I can.
So if Red Cloud just tried the pickaxe, I tried the bow just to see if my hand will pass through it.
It does not pass through it.
And then I'm going to go try the opaque one.
It does not pass through it either. It seems
There's that force or
further investigation. It's literally opaque. It's not empty necessarily, but it's opaque.
Right. There's it's
all
like fog almost kind of a thing.
yeah. Also, in examining these and getting closer, you notice there is a hole, a small hole in the one that the bow is within. In the corner of the pillar, there is a small hole. In the one with the pickaxe, there is a cup or a trough, a hand that is out.
Okay.
In the third, there is nothing.
A shield. Again, the pickaxe and the bow, like it's just that's what throws me off.
Well,
The third is warped. The third pillar is warped in a way that looks like it was made a certain way, but that has almost just been smeared.
I'm looking at the bow here, and I'm seeing this hole right here, and I'm thinking, I don't know. I think we should shoot an arrow into the hole.
That's a great idea.
I don't know. The other one, and the fact that there's a different sort of, on the pickaxe and the bow, maybe using the tool. I don't know. I've got a crossbow on me anyway, so.
Yeah, I have a crossbow as well. I mean,
I'd say go for it.
sure. Take a bolt,
Everyone
shove
cool
it
with
in the
that?
hole. see
All
if
right,
it-
all right. I'm gonna try and fire it into there. How big is this hole? Take a look at it.
It's rather small.
Oh shit.
You can get a dart maybe,
Right, it has to be a small.
or an arrow without an arrowhead.
Right, or like a stubbed one or whatever.
A shaft. Sure.
Good. So I'd like to take out one of my bolts, and I'm just gonna poke it in there to see if it'll fit first.
A bolt does fit.
A bolt does fit. I'm just gonna slide the bolt as far in as I can without letting go of it to see if it clicks anything or anything like that.
As you put the shaft of your bolt through there, there's no suction as you might expect. When you get to the pinnacle of you potentially being able to drop it in there, and it feels like the hole kind of turns. It doesn't feel like you've clicked anything. The hole just turns.
Right.
Elsewhere.
All right. Well, I guess I'll retrieve my bolt then. I don't think the bolt's working. Doesn't seem like this. Okay.
What if we pour water inside?
I was thinking the same thing.
When we poured the water in the statues, as the door opened, that sound was thank you in Dwarven. So maybe they like water.
It wouldn't hurt to try.
Okay. I'm gonna pull out my water skin then.
Dumping though. But I mean, yeah, like it's worth a shot. But like for future, we might have to worry about water.
I'll just-
Longer to be here.
I'll put a little in.
Make a tidal wave.
Or get somebody who didn't pour the water the first time. That way we can all have an equal amount of water.
I'm thirsty. Oh!
I didn't think that through.
I'm going to use prestidigitation to create just wind to go shoot through the hole.
As you do that, you push maybe Super out of the way as he's starting to pour the water. You hear a drop go down and start gurgling goop, 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 as the wind pushes through. Eventually, the gurgling stops, and the room begins to hum. A beautiful chord that, Xander, to your ears, is almost as beautiful as the chord that Sylvia plays.
You mean Sonia?
That one. Yeah. Sorry, Xander. Viewers just checking it. All right. As Sonia has played before, or Sylvia, your past lute. The glowing has become the pillar itself, or the stand of the pillar itself is glowing. The light that was going up is now gone. There is nothing sealing between you and the bow that you can see.
Anybody going to grab it? I'm going to reach in and try to take the bow.
Yes. Take the bow.
Just as you're about to reach in, Siddle says, "Hey! Before we do anything here, I think it's fair to say that we come up with an agreement on how to split some of the loot. How does your party do this before our arrival? We don't want to intrude by any means, but..."
Great. Well, just stand over there and help like you just did. None at all.
The way that we do it is we just put it all in the middle, and then you just dive in there. And that's how I do it, baby.
Well, super, you know.
So, that is, this subject never bothers us. It's never
It's
been on.
whoever needs it, whoever has the greatest need.
Yes.
Indeed, okay. I understand.
Oh,
When have
I'm
you
sorry.
used bows?
Let me rephrase. Whoever in our party has the greatest need. And as you said before, you're just tagging along.
And I won't forget it, Sandy.
Please don't.
Super. Ooh. Like in the side.
He looks down at the bow, says, "It sure does look valuable," and steps back. Xander, do you reach in?
Yes.
As you reach in, your hand goes to grab the bow. It's got a swirling purple rivet of wood that almost seems to be spun around the wood parts of the bow itself. Almost as if it's one with the bow, though, even though it looks ornate in a sense. You grab the bow. You lift it out. And it is now in your possession.
Hey. Super. After he lifts it out, I the dwarf that was kind of like asking about the share or whatever. How he reacted.
He's not a dwarf, is he?
Was he not?
He's a goblin, isn't he?
So,
excuse me. I got mixed up. Pardon me.
As I described him, he is very halfling in stature in everything except his ears look very goblin-esque. But in every other way, he seems halfling.
Gotcha.
A pirate halfling, but with these very large, pointy ears that kind of come off to the side.
He's a half and halfling.
He gives you a wink, Super.
Oh.
Well, I mean, this is way too tall for you anyway. So perhaps the next item would be more your speed. And I'm going to go sit in a corner or sit off to the side and set it on my lap and say, I'll be back in a few minutes. And I'm going to take 10 minutes to cast Identify.
All right. Does Identify give you everything about it?
It identifies the item.
Okay.
This opaque thing.
One object that you must touch throughout the casting of the spell. You learn its properties and how to use them, whether it requires attunement to use, and how many charges it has, if any. You learn whether any spells are affecting the item and what they are. If the item was created by a spell, you learn which spell created it.
That sounds very good. Now, just know that while you are feeling this shaft of this bow up,
oh yeah,
you get to feel like you're cheating on somebody. Almost like romantically you're cheating on somebody.
So I'll get over it.
Whatever Xander may feel.
I've had this feeling before.
All right. the rest of the party, you see Cecil come up to the other one and say, "Oh." He grabs the base of it and starts to try to shake it, though it doesn't move. All right,
this for the
do you
pickaxe?
gentlemen have any ideas?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Start
Siddle
pouring some
begins.
water on it.
Siddle goes to have a conversation with Cecil, kind of on the side. Pulls him, says, "Come here." Pulls him alongside. Show you walk up, you pour water into the hands. And as you do, the water just seems to drip through the fingers.
Alas.
Perhaps a cup of water. But I'm not here.
The engineers have all waited a little outside. Where are the engineers at this point?
Well, the room's open, so they can either come in or they can wait outside.
Where would you have directed them in that case?
To probably stay outside with the crossbowmen and the pikemen.
Okay. You hear a... Simper, what are you doing? Show you tried to do something.
Sorry?
I'm just kind of waiting things out. Sorry. I got kind of, yeah. I've been thinking about this
No worries.
fake thing. It's like, I feel like there's like a thought or a word that like attributes to it. It's more about like an idea that you can't like, there's no physical embodiment of it. Anyways, so yeah, that's where my mind's at right now.
Okay.
Just then you see
that just happened?
That was Cecil digging into the ground.
Cecil
digging into the ground with what? With an axe or with his hands?
With his hands.
Digging some dirt out of the ground?
Puts some dirt into the hands, and then the similar fashion. And then Siddle just gets pretty stoked, but then tries to like. Cecil reaches down and grabs this pickaxe that has these ornate rams coming out of each side of it, held up with the picks themselves almost coming from the necks of these ram-like creatures. The handle is of a very dark wood that is carved very ornately, but in a way that you can't see the pattern because there's not enough shadow on it because it's just dark. All right, got it. All right, one for you, one for me.
Who did you just say that to?
Xander.
Okay, cool.
Don't bother me. I'm busy.
Xander.
Are there any other exits to this room?
What about the pickaxe? What do we do to get the pickaxe? I am very interested in this axe.
I think
That's what he just got.
it.
He just
Siddle's
got
got
the
it.
pickaxe. Yeah.
Red Cloud. It seems that
And yeah.
it seems that in some competitive spirit between them and Xander, they have been able to procure the pickaxe.
Ah, well, good for them. I hope their hands are tight around it.
No, he's a big fella, isn't he?
He is a very large fellow.
So is it kind of like like a little toy axe in his hand, or?
It is a very heavily made pickaxe. And though it might not be a two-handed pickaxe for him, he could definitely hurt a piece of stone with it.
I hear you. So there's a third statue that has like its hands next to the opaque one. Is that correct?
There is not.
No, there's not.
Third statue has nothing.
Well, the third statue is opaque. We don't know if it has
Right,
anything.
right.
Is there any kind of a receptacle or abnormality about the opaque pillar?
Right. I keep on like kind of studying it to see if there's something that I'm supposed to put. So I get a magic stone and like I try to put it there. I feel like there's like it's something to do with magic. Like you have to do some sort of magical thing to trigger it. You understand what I'm getting at? So a magic stone, it's a cantrip of mine. I like kind of like throw it at that space or something. Does that make sense?
Even though Xander is working, how much more time do I have on this?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was Xander working?
I'd say you probably have about 2 minutes. I mean, you guys were pondering. Yeah.
So as he's touching the bow and just super.
I'm like, okay, yeah. So I go over to Xander because I'm still thinking about it, I guess. Yeah. So I go over to Xander. How can I help you, Xander?
And he whispers to him, water, earth. Next in line would be
fire. Right. All right. Yeah, right. Keep it down.
Did you use the magical stone, Super?
Well, I was kind of like thinking about it, I guess.
Roll an attack roll for me.
Okay.
It sounds like you tossed it.
I did 17 total.
Roll damage for me.
Oh shit. Okay. 7.
So you notice as he's doing this, you notice Siddle is looking up at the scroll that seems to be plastered to the center of all of these.
Okay, I'm going to look up at it too and see if I can't make something out in it.
Give me a perception check. Super. You hit the corner of this twisted pillar, and your stone hits it and ding, and then flies up into the air in a straight, almost like you hit a backboard, and then it bounces off the rim straight up in basketball, and then lands right there in what looks like a placement for something of a stone-shaped nature that warps it, grabs it, and the opaqueness vanishes.
Oh.
Within it, you see a wand.
Oh. I like grab it. That's the way I can describe it. I like grab
Okay. As you were considering this show, what did you get?
A 7.
You start to look, and then the distraction of Super's sounds of joy distract you. Super, what do your sounds of joy sound like?
I'm like, ha ha, ha, ha. And I'm like kind of doing a little dance.
All right, and you jump over, and all you guys see are his 2 feet kicking out the top of this thing as he's trying to reach all the way down to grab it. Super, you are surrounded by a purple hue in this hole you are reaching into. You grab it, and my God, you have found the thing that you are questing for. And you can feel this is a wand of incredible wonder. As you back up to get out, you realize you've gone too far down, where you are now dangling and can't quite make your way back up. But the prideful man you are, you will not tell anybody. You will just do it a little less gracefully.
I do
But
it
it seems
I can swallow my pride on that.
It seems no matter how hard you try, you have found yourself in a predicament.
Well, can I shout for help? Like, I'll be like, guys, I think I might be stuck. Can somebody
Give it a moment. Give it a moment.
All right, fair.
All right, Xander, your spell has finished, and I should write you up something. Bum-ba-dum. Or you mind if I just say it out loud?
Sure, say it out loud.
Now, I don't know how the names work on this, but you have found a bow of ending.
Oh shit, that sounds pretty dope.
Envy,
Ending.
ending.
Yeah.
This bow grants you an additional 2d6 magical piercing damage.
Shit, that's pretty gnarly.
When firing the bow at an opponent, always roll damage. If this damage would end the opponent, then that opponent automatically dies, ignoring armor class.
Okay, say
If
that
the
again.
damage would, I'll text it to you so you have it,
Okay.
or I'll.
Message, yeah, I get you. Yeah. That's fucking dope, though.
So
So
always roll
basically,
damage.
if it, yep, and if it would kill the opponent, then there is no need to roll an attack roll. You can ignore armor class. If the damage would not do the job, though, you take the additional 2d6 in damage.
If you fail on the AC roll?
So you, if it's going to kill the opponent, if pretend
Right.
you roll a 14,
Yeah.
and he only has 13 HP,
Uh-huh.
you don't have to roll an attack.
That part I get.
So you could have rolled a 2, a 3, a 4. It will kill him.
Right.
If it would not kill him, those extra 2d6 and magical piercing damage go to you, as it will backfire and hit you in the arm.
Word, gotcha. So you only want to pull this bow out when you think it's going to do the coup de grace. Otherwise, you're signing up for a roll to hurt. Okay.
It's the bow of ending, not the bow of getting close to the ending.
Yeah. Specialized tool. Okay. Well, as soon as I could, I'm still Sho's interested in the scroll. More specifically, he's interested in the fact that these two schmageggies are interested in it. Because he thinks they're up to no good, and he didn't like that little comment about how are we going to split stuff up, because they just sort of rolled up on the party acting all aggressive, like they're going to start killing people.
Yeah,
So I'm focused on that still, and I know that my perception wasn't that great the first time, but if I can buttress that perception with a little bit of persistence, I would like to either take another look, or if possible, I'd like to cast Unseen Servant. Is it a scroll, like a piece of paper hanging on something, or is it more just like...
It's a piece of paper that seems to be stuck to the marble finish ceiling, and there is a circle around it where it should be placed there. You can't tell with your shitty perception what might be holding it there.
Okay. Well, I would like to still, if I may, I would like to cast Unseen Servant and see if I can't coax that scroll from the ceiling into my possession.
Can Unseen Servant fly, or is it a...
Well, let me double check.
Yeah.
I'd like to ask a question. These people in the party, have they done anything worthwhile to deserve just walking up on us and taking the loot from this magnificent place we're in? Knowing
Nothing.
all the work we've done,
They have done nothing.
I will hit the pickaxe.
Just then, Cecil comes over and looks at you, Sho, and says, "Would you like a hand up?"
Yeah, I guess so. By the way, aside, no, it looks like Unseen Servant it says it appears on the ground, so I'm assuming that means it can't fly.
You can do
Although it
anything
is-
that you would be able to do. It's just you don't have to go do it.
Yeah, that was sort of the hope. I was hoping maybe to be discreet about it. But Cecil's the big one, I'm assuming.
Yes.
I'll say, all right, Cecil. No sudden moves, buddy. Let's get this thing down. Figure out what it says, huh?
Aye. He looks over at the rest of the party and says, "Somebody give your boy a hand."
I'm just like, with feet,
And
like,
yeah, Super in the background still kicking. Red Cloud, can you help him on my back?
No worries.
So Red Cloud, how do you want to do that?
Well, I guess I'm helping Super get on his back,
Right.
or get on his back.
I'm like in like a kind of like a tube thing where like in the tube I'm holding on to this wand, but like the opening's at the very top of it, kind of like a vase, I guess.
Yeah,
Put
Super.
something
You're still stuck over there. Red Cloud, he was talking about Sho, who seems to be
excuse me.
behind him, looking to get on Cecil's back.
Okay.
Yeah, Sho's confused. I thought he was being a smartass. I thought that Cecil just came up and burned me like that. You want some help getting up there? Good luck.
Yeah.
So now I'm
Is
thinking like, oh,
this
okay.
scroll
Over and
is this like a metal scroll on the ceiling, or is this like paper scroll?
Give me a perception check while these guys are doing this. Red Cloud, how are you helping him up?
I'm walking
17.
over and I'm saying, "Show, no homo," and I grab him by the waist real tight and I just toss him up on top of the big dude.
All right, Sho, give me an acrobatics check.
Acrobatics check. Ooh, nice. Okay. And let's see if I get any kind of okay. So 18 plus 2, 20.
So you go up and you're almost surprised because the way he pulled you up, you didn't turn. It wasn't like an awkward toss. It's like you just went up and then kind of just landed right on his shoulders. His hands grab your ankles and support you in such a way that makes you look flawless.
Super, like from inside, it's like, and like you kind of hear like the thing.
Yeah, Super, you hear all the fun happening out there. Xander, yeah, you look up and it's on a very thick parchment. It's not paper per se, but a very old but thick parchment of some sort.
You mean Sho?
Xander wanted to look at it from where he
Oh,
was.
I got you.
Sho, you come closer and you notice the same thing. Even with your 7 perception, you are right there. It's within arm's length. You can tell that it's not a language that you know, but it's something magical about it.
Something magical. Its scroll seems magical. I can't recognize anything about the symbols. They're not similar to the symbols that I saw earlier on the door, etc.
Not similar to any of those symbols. What you do see on it is a head of a wolf on the top, almost like a seal on the top, like a header, and then an elaborate tusk footer that seems to be drawn on this scroll. Somebody put a lot of effort and time into crafting whatever this scroll of writing is.
And the footer is a tusk, an image of a tusk.
It's like a wrapped kind of beautiful tusk.
Yeah.
That kind of lines the bottom wording of this.
Okay.
Xander, you notice Sumper's feet kind of dangling there now.
Need a hand, little buddy.
I mean, I would like some help. Yes, I'm making noises and stuff.
Super,
I mean,
you're down there. How does that sound?
So
Yeah, Xander goes up to the side and just kind of looks over. He's like, you need a hand?
like, yeah, that'd be appreciated. I kind of like, is he able to? Can you just grab me by my ankles, yank me out? You just come on, Xander.
Reach down, grab him by the back of his pants, and wedge him as he pulls him up.
All right. So you pull him up, but you don't quite sit him down. You pull him up and then go, ugh. And then, Sumper, you feel the wedgie just go right up your ass, and then he sets you down.
I'm like, I'll remember that one, Xander. But
Hey, dude, check out this. Hey, Super, check out this bow. Would you like me to take a look at your wand?
I would.
What did you find? Let me say that. What did you find?
Right. I'm like, I found this wand. I mean, I know that you are very attuned and understand magical items. If you could check it out for me, I'd appreciate it.
We'll swap. You hold this. I'll hold that.
All right. And I swap it. I'm just
Wow,
like,
this looks like it's worth a lot of gold.
Well,
Su-
I like point the bow at him like, Xander, I've had enough of this shenanigans.
All right, and he'll go over and sit back down in the corner, and he'll do the ritual identify on it again.
Okay. Thank you, Xander. Sheesh.
All right, Super. Take a look at your PMs on Facebook.
All right.
Really quickly, while I'm up there, I'd like to just play a quick
Hold
hunch.
on, he doesn't know what it is.
That's fine. That's fine. Show.
I'd like to play a quick hunch, and I want to try blowing on the scroll, like air, like wind, like another element, you know?
Yeah.
Just gonna give it a.
It slowly rotates in the wind. And then you hear a kink. And that's it.
Peculiar.
So it spun.
It seemed it responded to the blowing a little bit.
A little bit, but you couldn't tell too much whether if it was just the wind.
Oh, so it could
or
actually
if
just
that
blow
was
the
a
wind.
yeah.
Okay. Well. Okay then.
Oh crap! So Xander will quit casting. He will quit his ritual casting of identify, and he'll cast prestidigitation on and create a gust of wind on the scroll.
It blows in the wind but remains stationary.
And at this point,
That's not it.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
Okay.
Oh, as you say, well, then Supa's gonna be like, "Hey, so how much you think that? Like, actually, you know what? I'll find out for myself what kind of a wand it is, Xander." And he reaches back to retrieve it from Xander, assuming you're willing to give it.
If you're sure, I mean, you can't use it till you know. I'm gonna give it back to you.
Yeah, but Supa doesn't believe you necessarily.
You
I
can
tell you what, Super. Let's do this together. You hold one end, and I'll hold the other.
I'm like, all right, that's fine. And I
you're ridiculous.
and I hold it, and I'm like staring at him in the eye, like, you know, like he's just.
And I'm going to close my eyes,
Yeah,
and I'm going to feel the wand.
Super, none of the sexual innuendos that Xander is giving to you is phasing you at all. You just know that he's going to try to take the wand from you
yeah,
at
I'm
some
just like,
point.
what's he doing? Yeah, just.
All right, show Red Cloud. They're a bit distracted while you're over at this scroll. The final piece of this, if you will, maybe. What is it that you would like to do?
Well, Cecil, Red Cloud, I don't know, guys. Wind was really all I had. It seemed like everything was pretty clear cut, I thought.
And oh no, I can't because I'm holding on to the.
Is there anything nearby that I can give to Show so he can reach out and like kind of knock the scroll off the wall or whatever?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. You go over and you find a piece of wood. You'd have to go out of the room.
Okay.
But you find a piece of wood. Yeah.
Okay.
And let's say it takes about 2 minutes on your way back. You hand the piece of wood up to Show. Show, you now have a 3-foot piece of root of some sort in your hand. And then Siddle in the back goes,
What, Siddle? What? All right. Siddle's not gonna respond, and I don't like that, but I'm gonna try and use a root to knock the scroll.
You go to hit it, and it stops right before it touches the scroll, but like centimeters. It almost like you don't notice it at first. It seems like a very hard scroll, but something is in the way. Siddle looks up and says, Shototatu, think I'm gonna do you a favor, man. I really gotta work on my voices here. Give me a second. Let me put pirate on. Aye. You see, the first one was water. Then we had air, some land, magic. I don't have to piece this together for you, Sho. I think you know the answer to this one.
I thought we already did fire. I got confused. I didn't realize air was the third one. What Super did air shit. I was too busy contributing, Siddle. I was too busy getting thrown onto your buddy's back. I didn't notice. I'm sorry, man. But I appreciate you looking out. This is the kind of help and dialoguing and support that gets you a cut in on the goods at the end of the mission. Fire.
Consider this a favor amongst men.
Okay, I will. Thaumaturgy? No. Yes. Well, no. Does anybody have any magical fire abilities?
Siddle is holding up a lit match.
All right, I'm gonna reach down and see if I can grab it.
Give me an acrobatics check. And this will be included your dexterity as well, because you know how matches are.
Joel, I'm standing right here. I could always just hand you the match.
He hands it up to you, Red Cloud. Red Cloud, you try to hand it up. You hand it up. You can roll this with advantage now that there's no acrobatics necessary.
12.
All right, yes, you're able to pass it from Siddle to Red Cloud, from Red Cloud to Cecil, from Cecil to you, and there's not much match left. But with your 12, you go up, and you're hoping that nobody breathes.
Prestidigitation, gust of wind.
Yeah, right.
You're busy. No, Xander. Yeah. You're busy stroking Soomper's wand.
Right.
So as it falls down, Sho, you grab it, and you have it in your hand now. This is indeed a very thick parchment, not one that is flimsy by any means. And though it's as old, you suspect it to be very old, in no way is it fragile. It seems that it hasn't aged. You see a mark. The only words that you can get from this are that it's created by the Grand Naissant.
Grand Naissant.
Does anybody know if there's a pickle emoji?
There has to be. Pickle Rick.
Totally one, yeah. There has to be, as Austin said. I know there's the eggplant one.
Okay, I'm sorry. So I just got to the point where I could type this. The Grand Toussaint, what was it?
The Grand Naissant. Nissant.
Okay.
It is not in Dwarven.
I think I might know a guy that could help me out with this.
Woo, naked DM.
Hey.
Well,
That'll be my battle cloak from now on.
I got the scroll. I'm gonna hop up off of Cecil's shoulders. Thank you,
All right.
Cecil.
Yep. Says I. So, what did you find?
Well, I found this scroll. It's in a language I don't understand, and I doubt anybody here does. But you're all welcome to gather around and take a look at it, see if you can't identify the language. And I'll show the scroll, but I'm careful to keep a tight grip on it.
Hey. Siddle walks up. Hey. Looks to me like some ancient writing. It's about as much use as that is to me. Besides maybe a pretty penny.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
What languages do you guys know?
Infernal and common, I think.
Celestial, Common, and Elvish.
I know
Celestial, huh?
Druidic and Gnomish and Common.
I know Dwarven.
Okay.
And
Okay, roll me an Arcana check. Anybody who's proficient in it.
Ooh. Ooh.
+1.
Yeah.
9.
I want to do an Arcana check.
9.
I know some arcane stuff. Oh,
Are you
13.
proficient in the skill?
I am proficient in skill.
Okay. 13.
Yep.
Beyond what you've already gathered, you can't come up with anything more about the scroll.
It's my 10 minutes up.
Indeed it is.
Awesome. Would you please let me know what it is? Through text.
You don't want to be telling the whole party, huh? Let's see. Roll me a d10.
Most indubitable. 7.
Nope, not that one. Uh-oh.
It's worthless, Simpa. It's just a stick.
Damn it, John, where are you? All right, you guys. Oh, I got it. Bada bing, bada bam.
Oh, I'm sorry. Did you need me to roll for Arcana? I thought it was just a few folks that were doing that.
I have
Anyone
no
who is looking at the scroll, and only if you're proficient in it.
Yeah, I'm not proficient in it. Yeah.
Yes. So, Super, as you are holding this wand with good friend Xander, you're grilling him. How does that 10 minutes go for you? Give us a little sneak peek of some of the shenanigans, things you might try to pull, things you notice about his face.
I mean, I'm just like looking at him like the entire time, just super suspicious of him the whole time.
What shenanigans do you pull? Do you just sit there motionless, or
I kind of like poke his nose a couple of times, like looking at him, you know.
There is times throughout the casting when it's like a new wave hits him. He's like, oh, really? Oh, do tell. Oh, do tell. Oh, yeah.
Super, as he's identifying this wand, it
nice.
seems to be marvelous.
This. Oh, no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Should I roll like for like? Because I obviously don't want to stop him from identifying it. Mitchell doesn't, but Sumpa does. So I feel like I have a conflict of interest here, and I should roll
And
whether or not I should like. Yeah.
Okay. Let's say so. He's doing this for 10 minutes.
I'll just be like,
you can roll a Constitution saving throw, and that's how many minutes you can hold off without trying to nab it back.
2 without modifier.
All right.
5 minutes with Constitution. 2 + 3, 5 minutes.
At 5 minutes, what do you do?
I like, Xander, you fucking son of a bitch! You better not be stealing my wand, which is ridiculous because he's just sitting there. But
Oh, baby, be quiet. This is good. You're gonna like this. Oh yeah. You are
Super, you're getting livid at this point. You can't control yourself. You have put up with 5 minutes of him telling you this is one of the most wondrous items you've ever seen in your life.
I just go, ah! And then I like try to tackle him.
All right, strength check.
Tiny little Super. Oh shit, it's pretty strong. It's a nice tackle, man.
I'm gonna sidle over to Red Cloud and just go to toe ring.
You did what? You tackled me with a 19?
I did, yeah.
You son of a...
Go ahead and do advantage because he is not watching you.
Advantage. Well, I just rolled again, right?
Yep.
All right. Oh shit. Well, now it's a 19 + 3, so strength, right? Oh, +2.
Yep.
Excuse me. +2, so 21 total. Still, like
I can't beat that regardless. Even if I roll a nat 20, I can't beat that.
All right, Super. How do you do it?
I just like clean, like head right between the right on the side of the ribs, shoulder right in the stomach, just bam.
And how does this? And no, you can also turn into an animal if you wanted to.
Yeah.
How does this? How does this go? What does this sound like as you're going? Is this an internal anger, or is it erupting out of you?
It's just like Xander. Like I would say it's erupting. Okay.
So as you guys are looking at the scroll that Sho has, suddenly behind you hear Xander, and then they're both on the ground. Xander goes, Xander, give me a dex save, if you will.
I'm sorry.
Super, give me a dex save for yourself as well.
24.
Ooh. You maintain grasp on the wand.
Yeah, 15 total. So yeah, he definitely beat me.
You maintain grasp on the wand as well.
Oh. Aha!
At no time am I trying to take it from you.
I don't know. Super doesn't believe him, I guess.
No, well, he won't let go.
It's like, well, then why don't you let go, Xander?
I'm not done.
I don't know what to do, man. I'm seriously I'm stuck because I want him to identify the fucking.
No, you forget about that. Pretend your mission in life is to get this thing.
I'm like, it's like, you're not done. Well, I'm done with you, Xander. Hands off the wand, bucko.
As I'm listening to all this, I'm like, Soompi, he's not going to take the wand. It's okay.
Could one of them, get through to me or somehow? Or is it just too late for me, I guess?
Let me try something. I'm going to walk up to Soomper and just see if I can't yank that ring off. Or at least get Soomper to let go of the wand to go from my hands.
My attention is, completely on the wand. It actually is a bad move.
Yeah. All right, give me a... Yes, Sho, you come over and you grab his hands. Oh, Sho, where's it? Or Super, where's it on? Your toe?
It's on my big toe. It's on my big toe, remember?
Yeah, can I say how I want to do this too? I don't want to alert Super to what I'm doing. So I want to kind of walk up like I'm just sort of observing the little disagreement that they're doing, and kind of come up to him, like, hey Super, how's it going? And then just quickly go for the toe.
You have no problem surprising him. And, he is completely distraction, infatuated, almost debilitatingly. And you're able to grab his foot and his sandal. You see the ring on his toe, and you grab firmly on it. give me a strength check.
Man, I've done this so many times. Sooner or later, got to hit a nat 20. 14.
That's good.
So, Xander, you're looking up at no, not Red Cloud. You're the only one not in this shit. Red Cloud, you look up and you see Xander pulling on a wand, who Super's also pulling on, but then Sho has Super's feet and is trying to pull a toe off him. It looks like something off of a cartoon movie. And then just then, Siddle coughs next to you, Red Cloud, and goes, and you said you've never had a loot problem before?
And I look over at him and I go, it's not Soupy's fault. That stupid ring on his toe, it's causing problems. We'll explain in a minute. Just let's watch the buffoonery.
He shrugs it off and says, a simple understanding at the beginning ain't so bad. And then you guys continue your charade. Super, you eventually break free with the wand because of your 21 strength, and you have it. Xander, you've held on for the entire 10 minutes and somehow remained concentrated on your ritual, and now know what it is. Sho, you still have his foot in your hand, and what do you do about that?
I'm yanking. I'm also like, Red Cloud, give me a hand, man. I got it. This is it. This is the moment. We're going to get the toe ring off. No more problems. Please.
Tell me what you want. What do you want me to do, Sho?
I pull me while I'm pulling the toe or something like that. Or I don't know. However,
I bear
acrobatics
Sho, and I just start
fantastic.
as hard as I can.
Okay. Give me a strength roll with advantage, Sho and Red Cloud, each individually, and then
Hold on. I'm going to try to give them advantage on this. Since I'm done with that, and I'm obviously pissed off that he's wrestled me for 4 minutes on this crap, I'm going to use prestidigitation and soil that toe with like grease so that it will make them easier to pull it off. I can clean or soil something.
Okay, you soil it.
17 total is what I rolled.
Okay, undo your advantage because of the grease. So is that your first roll or your second roll?
That was my first roll.
17 is fine. Super, you feel your big toe just getting hauled by a huge dwarven man and a... How tall are you again, Sho?
I'm like 5'3".
5'3".
Average.
Big tip for me, though. I'm like a 3-foot being.
You turn around, and just as you get yanked, you have your bow. You have your wand. They're coming for your ring.
Oh, fuck.
Sho, Red Cloud, it does not come off. But the toe does do a...
Oh.
Super, you feel an immense rage that seems to also be coming from your toe now.
Wow. The rage is coming from my toe. Toe.
Yes, and take 2 points of damage because your toe is now broken. And just then, you guys slide off because of the grease. Or let's say, roll me a dex save, Sho.
Okay.
It's you versus the grease because you're the one holding on.
Dude, what the fuck? Oh, shit. I couldn't get away from it on that one.
Oh, and you guys go flying back.
Oh, man.
Super, you're on the ground. You've got it all. And a broken toe.
Soupy, just know it was, well, We tried to help.
I don't know what to do now, man. Oh my god. Was not ready for any of this.
Does it hurt, Soupy?
That super should be
Super, you feel so betrayed. Just put yourself in Smeagol's shoes.
No, I know exactly. Like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just trying. Like, there's such a conflict of interest here, man. It's making it
10 minutes.
Don't
All
we have a
you
little
had
bit
to
of
wait
recording?
was 10 minutes. I was even letting you hold the other end.
Go easy, Super. You know we go through these phases every now and then. This is just us. This is just what we do. We hang out. We do great. We're the crew. We're the Boar Boys. We're the Boar Boys to men. We're doing great. Every now and then we yank on your toe. This time it went a little crazy. I heard a crack, but we can fix it. We can fix the toe, and we can get right back to what we were doing.
I don't know. Does this work on me, Mike? I'm trying to figure out what to do.
We're just trying to get the ring off your toe.
I feel like before, like Super, like once we got off, like once he got what he wanted, he pretty much goes right back to normal. But you know what I mean? Like I'm trying to play it right.
So, Mitch, you have the things, but the transgressions. So imagine you had something very valuable, and I went over, I pushed you, tripped you, and took it from you, right? Or even tried to take it, and I failed. You still feel those emotions, right? Like this is something that's precious to you, and it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why no one else can understand that this is precious to you.
What's that? The wand or the toe ring? Because he was going for the wand when I went for the toe ring. That's why I went for the toe ring in the first place. You know, I didn't just walk up and push him over and start yanking on his foot. He was already yanking on a thing himself. You know what I mean? I just came in there. I thought it would be smooth.
Super
We know the toe ring's bad for you, Simpy.
Super just goes, nobody understands Soapy, and then he just runs off into the caves, I guess. I don't know. It's the best I can do. Because he's like mad, but like he feels betrayed, but I was so close
and then
to tidal wave at you guys after all the talk of the tidal wave. Blast y'all with the fucking tidal wave. But I couldn't do that. It's too much. Because I don't want to hurt my friend at the same time, you know what I mean? Like he's not that far gone, I would feel.
So in the moment of anxiety, pain, worry for your fellow party member who you just know that you broke his toe, you guys stand back and try to talk some sense into him. He just screams exactly what he said, goes straight through Siddle and Cecil, kind of like, whoa. And then he just, with the bow, his broken toe, and a wand, go hobbling into the cave. You can see the engineers kind of like stand back, like, oh. As he runs
No.
off.
Xander's going to go after him, and
oh my god,
because I'm at full speed. He's got to be at slower speed because he's got a big toe.
And you see, and the rest of the party, you see Xander running after him as they exit the room. We're gonna take a break. Take a quick 5 minutes, maybe 7 minutes, and we'll come back. Hit our sponsors for the evening.
We don't have any, but let's do that anyway.
Chums.
I love the fucking toe thing. Aloha.
Maha.
I think we've had better roleplay with this fucking ring than we've had all campaign. It's the ring and the fucking bunyips.
He's gonna end up getting killed because of that ring.
The ring is certainly going to end up being a huge. It's already been a damn problem. I just wish we could get his character to understand why we want to take it off. But I mean, but what the ring is doing, I don't. We'll just have to take it off for that to happen.
Or cut it off.
Yeah, Red Cloud, did you see the ring description?
Mm-mm.
Xander cast identify on it.
It's nasty, dude.
So this ring is like, it's a real serious thing. And he didn't even hear the description? Like, did Soupy not get to...
If it keeps going,
Soupy knows the description. He has it.
if it keeps going, he is he's in a world of hurt. If it keeps it, the more money he builds up, the more layers unfold.
Xander, did you tell them the appropriate description of what you got? Okay.
I said nothing. That's
I love this game.
That's Super calling as he's running down the hallway. I'm out of here, suckers.
They wanted to leave a message.
Goodbye.
How many viewers we have?
I've been on a Bachman Turner overdrive kick lately.
Oh, yeah? It's been a while.
I'm back. Sorry.
Super, where did you run off to?
So, like, I
Just
ran.
joking. Just joking. I was just a joke. Because your character's running and we haven't started playing yet. Don't worry.
I understand. Oh, okay. Sorry. Christina said that y'all were calling me, or it sounded like it, I guess. So, anyway.
Zumba!
No!
Nobody understands. They say, look, there's Soupy. They don't say, how Soupy.
Soupy. So the description is of that ring is known by the party, right? So I could talk about it in front of Soupy.
Yeah.
So what was it?
So, Soupy, I was just enlightened again with the.
He's gone.
That ring.
Yeah, Super's not in the same room as you at the moment.
Oh.
Yeah, I ran like a couple of rooms over.
Or back in the hallway, or
Yeah, something like, yeah. Like, I didn't like just sprint off like completely into the.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
All right, so let's get started. Welcome back to ShoreShack Adventures, where we've just had a tug of war of Soupy, and a ring, and a wand, and our bystanders, Siddle and Cecil, are really beside themselves, thinking that this is just a war of the loot that they just found. A different loot that they were looking for before. So, getting back into it. Before the break, Super went running out of the cavern, running out of the beautifully created room, screaming, "You don't understand me!" Oh, Super, go ahead, give us another one. What is it that you screamed as you ran out?
I was just like, well, I said like nobody understands Soapy, and then as I'm running out, I'm just like, ah! Like nothing.
With the broken toe and all the loot around him. Now, if you're just tuning in, we didn't have one of the episodes where this ring was introduced prior, but he has a cursed ring of sorts on his toe that makes him inseparable with anything of value, including his friendship, of course, but also including all of the loot that he somehow managed to get his hand on from that entire room, minus the pickaxe, minus the scroll. With the broken toe, he hobbles out of the room. Xander is quick behind. Super turns to left. Xander, you were on the ground, and he somehow managed to get up and out before you were able to catch him in room. As you guys pass through the engineers, they all go, "Oh, oh God!" The pikemen and the crossbowmen look nervous as all hell. Super's walking with a limp. They gear up and get ready aiming. Xander, you pass right by them. Going off, take another left into a dark cavern. In there, you go to tackle Super. But you also see Tommy Two Tones turn around startled. What was he doing in this cavern by himself? You do not know. But give me the split decision. What do you do? 5 seconds.
Tommy, what are you doing?
Super starts running off. Oh! Oh! Hi, Xander? You know, just exploring the caverns a bit while you guys were in there. How's those two that were in there?
I don't have time for this. Come with me. We've got to catch him. And I grab him by the arm and I pull him towards, and we're going after Super.
Oh, okay. He goes, and as he's running, he says, the cape looks mighty nice on you, by the way. Much better than it did on me.
I agree completely. Run faster.
You guys go running. Super is just around the corner. Super, where would you be at this point? They catch you at some point. But what would it look like as they come upon you? Would you still be running? You have a broken toe, so you're not running too fast per se. But they're going to catch you. What do they find?
It wouldn't be Soupy's most glorious moment. But he'd just be kind of hobbling, kind of like whimpering to himself, like, oh, like, poor Soupy, like, nobody understands. You know, just the same kind of shit. He's had like a mental breakdown, you know.
At this point, how do you look? Because you have your gear, your normal things that you keep in your hands, but now you also have a wand and a rather large bow.
Right.
Where have you placed it? What does all this look like?
So the bow, like the string is like around my neck, so it's just like kind of hanging there, you know. And like the one that I have in my hand, and I'm just kind of like hobbling, like, ugh. And I have my staff.
Okay.
I guess kind of like walking with staff in right hand, bow or wand in left, and I'm kind of like, ugh. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right, Xander, you see him.
Super
stops, and he kind of like looks behind him. He's like, "What do you want, Xander?"
We had a deal. You would hold my bow while I identified your wand. Now hand it back.
Two Tones goes, "Yeah, hand it back."
And I'm like, you stay out of this, Two Tones. And to metagame a little bit, I guess technically the bow nobody said anything about like how the bow is wealthy and it's not actual currency right as of now.
Oh, it's very
It looks-
ornate.
It looks beautiful.
So like I will not want to okay. So then I will not want to relinquish it. I'd be like, well, I mean, I just thought that it looked a lot better wrapped around this beautiful necklace that you see before you. And I like kind of like
So you, Soomper, are a thief.
Soomper does not like that at all. He doesn't want to be accosted as a thief. He's like, hey, that's not fair.
It's not fair that you stole it from me.
Calling me a thief, I mean.
Yeah, you
So-
thief! You stole it from him.
How would you describe it if you take something from someone that's not theirs?
Thievery.
So
Wait,
do you
whose
want
was
to be
it?
known as a thief?
Well, I mean, I guess you're right.
Constitution save. The only way you go along with this, Super, is if you have a natural 20.
Right. Okay. I rolled a 1. So I don't know how
You feel like he's trying to warp you with words. Like he's spinning this web to deceive you like a used car salesman.
I guess Soupy would be like, you're just using your tomfoolery. I know all your tricks, Xander.
No, not all of them, but
And he kind of runs off again, I guess. I don't
Tommy turns to you, Xander, and says, "What shall we do about this?" Or rather,
we're going to
"What
keep
shall we
following
do
him.
about this?"
Follow me, and I grab Tommy by the arm, and we pull after him. I'm pulling him after him the whole way.
All right, so you go running down. You, after about 20 feet, catch up with Super again. Super's in full stride.
Soomper, you need to stop. We need to talk about this, Soomper. Soomper, this is bad for your moral character. How can you continue to be a druid of such immense proportion while being a thief at the same time?
I mean, this
I
would
would
certainly
like to use my persuasion ability as much as I can.
Go ahead and roll persuasion.
Come on, you son of a 11. God bless it. I rolled a 2.
Damn. Have a conversation, Super, and you don't have to talk about yourself in third person either. Like, be in the situation, but
Right.
be Super.
right. So I'm like, Xander, you keep on going with your fancy talk. Nobody ever said whose bows this belonged to. I said I'd hold on to it, and I am holding on to it.
That's very true. However, if you use that wand, you're liable to kill all of us,
Is that so?
including yourself.
Super's like, what? And he like looks at the wand, like at Xander and the wand, like he doesn't know what to believe. Says, what does this wand do, Xander?
Mm-hmm. Hand me the bow, and I'll tell you what the wand does.
I figured you would say something along those lines.
You mean you figured I would say exactly what we had our deal to be?
Yes, that is correct. I figured that, yes, you would go back to this strange story that you claim to have. Some sort of ownership of said bow.
Do you own that wand?
Now I do.
Have we, as a party, decided that Soomper is to hold that wand?
I mean, I believe there was an unspoken agreement. Yes, I was the one that dove in for it.
That Soomper was to be in charge?
No, I mean that I should have the wand.
And who agreed to that, Soomper?
Everyone.
Everyone named Soomper?
You're right. You're right. And like Super like kind of starts crying again, like, oh, because he realizes, like, he's torn between like what he wants his true nature and the terrible curse of this ring, and he just kind of sits there and he breaks down, just kind of sobbing about it. I guess is what he would do.
So, in a completely non-aggressive way, Xander's just going to sit on the ground, cross-legged, say, "Please, join me."
And he's like, I already have.
Soomper, we don't care about you. I mean, not Two Tones here. He doesn't give a crap about you. But me, Show, Red Cloud, this thing that is infecting you, it's going to tear us apart.
I know.
You know this to be true.
I know. It's already happening. I can feel it.
We cannot take this off of you. Maybe you can remove it yourself.
And like, there's like a oh shit, like he never even considered this. I don't know. Would he try to take it off himself at this point, Mike? Could I roll for it? I feel like he would.
Hold on. Xander's going to pull out his flute. I'm going to give you just a wee bit of help. And he's going to play his flute for him and give him bardic inspiration.
I don't know. Like, yeah, it's up to you, Mike. I don't know how to play this out. I feel like he would at this point where he's down and stuff. You know what I mean?
He broke you down enough that I'll let you re-roll the Constitution save. Constitution save with bardic inspiration will allow you to. You don't have to hit over a 20. You have to get a nat 20 or a 19, let's say.
$13.
Now you do get a 1d6 on that.
Which would make it 19. Oh, 1d6.
No, a 1d6. Only if you get a 6.
15 total, yeah. So I guess.
How do you react, Super?
Yeah, so like I'd like go down and like I'm like I like touched like right when I touch the ring, I like recoil. I'm like, I can't do it. I can't.
I understand. It's hard. But perhaps maybe if you allow me to hold what I am supposed to hold, I can carry it for you. It does seem an awful big burden for you to carry around your neck. Let me hold the bow.
Like, no.
I understand. I pity you, Soomper.
I pity you too.
And I stand up and walk away from him.
All right. Tommy's sitting there looking left, looking right. He's like, yeah, I pity you too, Soomsers. And then starts walking after Xander.
I fucking tackle Tommy Two Tones from the back.
Boom! He's like, hey! And he hits the ground. Let's see. Oh! His leg kind of gets hit as you come down. You do the shoulder. Beautiful tackle. Roll me a strength check.
Not that hot either.
Xander continues to play.
7 total.
Inspiration again.
Okay, give him a plus D6 to that.
No, well, I mean, whenever he wants to use it, but during
fair.
this, he's got another 1d6.
I feel like right now he would want to be inspired. So yeah, it'd be a 5 plus 2, 7 plus 6, so 13 total.
All right, he hits the ground and it just his jaw a little bit, and you hear one of his tones go ah, and then he goes, "Oh, my tone, you thief!" And he starts fighting you back, and he punches you across the face, or at least attempts to, and gets a natural 20.
Oh shit! Okay.
So he's going to roll D4 damage, but double that. So it's 3 points of damage across your face. Get off me, you thief!
Is
You're
it
going
double
to
that?
damage my windpipe! No, it's 3 total.
Oh, okay.
I rolled 2 damage dice for it.
I get you.
Did you
These
just
two are on the ground.
friend?
What was that?
Yeah, I'm like still grappling with him and stuff.
Tommy
What
Two
was
Tone, did you just accost my friend?
He hits my pipes! These are the money makers! Help me, Xander! Help!
Son of a gun.
Super,
And he does.
your
And he
turn.
calls both rapier and dagger and jumps straight into the fray.
Super, what do you do?
I'm just
You
still.
just got clocked across the jaw. Are you throwing punches?
Oh yeah, I'm throwing punches at Tommy.
All right, roll me an attack roll and a D4 of damage.
Oh shit, not good. 6 plus. I'm not sure what my physical would be. I guess plus 2 for strength, so 8 total. Save.
Boom! You hit the ground instead of hitting his head. He moves it just out of the way and goes, ah! All right, Xander, your turn.
Xander jumps into the two of them, swinging with a 16 with his rapier and a 14 with his dagger.
You're coming at me.
Now I must ask. Wait a second, Super. Xander, who is it that you're swinging at?
Or what?
Oh wait. Roll damage first.
9 and 4.
Super. How much HP do you have?
A lot at this point.
Oh, okay.
Well, yeah.
Xander, who is it that you are attacking?
Oh, it's Tommy Two Tones.
As you're fighting, you miss Super. His head goes right to the side, and then his head rolls right off.
Cut off Tommy's fucking head. Damn, okay. That.
And he takes off the red cloak, and he cleans off the blade, and he cleans off his dagger, sets the cloak down beside him, and said, I told you this was going to happen. And he says, Super, are you ready to go?
Like, yeah. I'm like all for Xander now. Like I'm like on Xander's side. I'm like super pumped about it. I'm like,
Screw
yeah.
this bitch. Let's get out of here.
I mean, Tommy was a scumbag. He had it coming. A little uncharacteristic of Super, but considering everything, I think it makes sense.
But still, just in case we come back this way,
Yeah.
let's move it off to the side. So we're going to push Tommy's body up against the wall, cover it up with rocks as best we can. I'm going to use prestidigitation around and clean up whatever remainder of blood might be on the floor and create a murder-free scene.
Well done. It is murder-free besides the pile of rubble, which is not out of the ordinary here, and the body behind the pile of rubble. But besides that, this is a back cavern, kind of a left swing in what would normally be a straight path. You head back to the rest of the party.
And on the way
So-
back, say, Super. Just in case they ask, one of those crawly things got him. Capiche?
Like now, Super's like, I guess. Like, and he's starting to realize.
No. The bow's yours, Super.
Oh, well, all right.
I don't give a damn about the bow. I don't even use it. But how about it? One of those crawly things got him. You good with that? You're already a thief. Might as well be a liar, too.
Oh man, this is fucking Super's like, does it? He's like, oh, he's like nervous, but he'll like go along with it for now. But he might not be the best, most reliable person.
He was attacking you, Super. I had no choice.
It's true. He was attacking my character.
No, he was attacking your person.
Well, that's like, yeah, like my character, like who.
It's a bit meta, Super.
It's right.
All right. Show Tutatu, Red Cloud, as Super and Xander kind of come back to the group. You guys never noticed Two Tones ever leaving, but you do notice Super has his jaw a little bloody as he returns. What are you guys doing in the meantime?
How long has it been?
About 10 minutes. You guys are just brushing yourself off from the puzzle, kind of maybe chatting about it. Have you talked about anything specific that you would like to talk about, or Red Cloud, would you like to pose any questions, or just have a conversation as they come back? You guys tell me what the situation is.
Pretty much. I've been talking to Show like, listen, when Soupy gets back, I think it's time we restrain him and take the ring. I think we'll just cut his toe off.
We've been here before, though. We've been. You know what I mean? We were ready to cut his toe off before, weren't you? Ready that one time? You remember that?
I do remember, but there's just so much shit happening.
I'm worried we're not going to get it off, though. Everything we do, we try so hard, and we can't get it off. It's like it's magically bound to his toe. I can't think of anything else. I mean, do you remember why cutting it off didn't work last time? Maybe he just sort of flipped on us, started casting spells, and I think kind of just fought us off. Like, we could try and do it again. Maybe if we could convince these guys to help us out over here, they could help hold him down or something. But I'm a little worried that it goes south, you know? I already feel kind of bad we broke his toe.
Yeah, after hearing the description of this ring, something has to happen.
I agree. I think this ring has been weighing our party down. Look, I'm into it. Hold on a second. Just really quickly, Show is going to just brainstorm for just a second. We're right here.
All right, Red Cloud, you hear Siddle and Cecil come over. He says, "Hey, what's up with that toe anyway?" And then you give him the whole description. Ask if they can be of any service.
So the toe, there's a ring. And this ring is taking over our friend. Makes him pretty much want things of value. And the more things of value he obtains, the more power the ring has over him. Would you be willing to help him train our friend, if needed, to possibly cut his toe off to get this ring off of his person.
All right, Red Cloud. It seems like your party's in quite a predicament. That sure would explain the buffoonery we just saw. And there are two people who are talking to you, Red Cloud. There is Siddle, and you weren't here for this episode, but Siddle is a shorter halfling man with some peculiarly pointy ears. And then a 7'10" bluish tinted individual who stands very massive with a pirate cap on in a sleeveless vest who was saying that. The smaller creature, Siddle, goes, It seems like you're rather fond of your friend Zumper. He's a deep party member of yours for some time, is he?
Yes. He is very close with us.
Would you care about him the most?
No one here is cared for more than others. We are a team. We are all as one.
I understand. While the show is considering the options, I might ask you of a favor in a short bit. Maybe just talk with me about how you all met Xander. What do you know about his previous life?
We don't know much. I know we met him while we were in a... Wasn't it like almost like a hall, like a music hall?
I think, well, actually, I met him first before you guys all did. I went back to town. Honestly, I think possibly after the last time we tried to cut off Zumper's toe, I just blew out. I'd had enough because we failed again. And so I went into town and I did a little soul searching and I searched the rubble of the church and I ran into him there. And we were both headed up to Ironton. And I think you guys were at the same time. And we ended up running into him later together. But he was at the time mainly focused on his infatuation for Julian's daughter. So all I know is that he's a romantic man. And besides that, I remember him being very talented and very vain. But more about his past is a mystery to me, although obviously it seems like he has some sort of magical stuff going on. But before I divulge any more, Siddle, this is the second time you've asked this question, and you've never given an answer as to what your business is with Xander. So I don't know why I should be divulging anything about my party member if you're not going to tell me what you're doing while you're interested.
Well, let me first tell you, if Zumper you really do care about, I would be more worried about the person who just ran after him into a cave than I would necessarily about the ring on his toe.
Yeah, but why would I take your word at all? I don't know who you are. You're some sort of little pirate schmuck, and you show up here, and you're still not answering my question.
This is fair. And how about we walk and talk? I would hate for your friend, whichever one that may be, to get the worst end of this deal.
Okay, where would you like to walk to? I don't follow.
Toward them. I'm in fear for your friend's safety.
Very well.
Now, in all honesty, imagine a less preppy motherfucking accent and more of a piratey accent, because goddamn, that preppy ass just makes you want to hate somebody. And the intention is for you not to hate him. And so let me correct that a little bit. Yeah. Let me correct that a little bit. All right. So, this is when Cecil starts to talk. He says, all right, we've been hired to capture what we believe and who we believe to be your friend Xander. He's a thief, a haggle, somebody who went in one of the highest towers of our estates and stolen a certain instrument of majesty to an elite bard who's been known around these lands and the two continents in which we live by. Our friend Tommy Two Tones, we found, has said this might be the loot we're looking for, though we haven't identified it for sure as much. But we've been following a trail for the past 2 months and got word that he set sail to Alabast.
Okay, I'm listening to what you're saying.
And for 2 months, exchanged 1.5 years.
1.5 years. I appreciate that you gentlemen have been on a long journey and that you finally answered the question that I've been asking you for quite some time now, basically since we met. But the fact remains that Xander and I have been in battle together and have defended each other and saved each other's lives. And you haven't really done anything for me. And yet you're trying to convince me that this person is dangerous because he allegedly stole something from somebody who I don't know at all. And he hasn't stolen anything from me. So again, I ask you, what is it that you think, what is your interest in retrieving this object? Did he steal it from you? Do you have some vested interest in what he supposedly stole? Are you hired? Are you being paid some large amount of gold or something? Why shouldn't we just restrain you and leave you in these caves now that you've revealed your intention to capture one of my party?
We are being paid the fat sum of, and then Siddle interrupts and goes, we are 20,000 platinum, as well as a ship tailor-made to our own accord with 4 cannons. Now, you see, I understand your quorum. I am a good man myself. I have an allegiant crew who has stuck with me for more than 27 years on the high seas. Our ship is riddled, even rattled. And I do not expect you to just turn your party member over. I simply wanted to see how well you really knew the character in which he was. Now, that being said, I haven't identified for sure that this was the loot in question.
It's a lute you're looking for? Because Xander plays a flute.
Oh. Well, I did see that, but the story that Tommy told me was a bit otherwise. I found him outside of a ball, and yes, in Ironton, and he was pretty persistent of the lute playing. In fact, there were a few people at that ball talking about a lutist. Do you mean to tell me that they said flutist?
No, I don't mean to tell you they said flutist. I'm sure there was a lutist at this ball. I wasn't at any ball. I don't know that Xander was at any ball, and I don't know who this Tommy Two Tones is, but he hasn't done 2 shits for me lately. Where is Tommy Two Tones anyway?
They start to look around. Ah! That little scallywag must have made his way out of this party. He was a bit of a sour pants, if you know what I mean. My friend Cecil. My friend Cecil, as we were questioning him, he soured his pants, and hence the name.
I understand.
But to be fair, you might be right. He might have lied to us. I'd love to get another word and maybe show you seem a respectable man. Have some questions with him together. That way we can determine if he was telling the truth or otherwise. I'd love to have more eyes on the matter. Now, I don't mean to protrude your party with sharp. The accent's horrible. Sorry, guys. I do not mean to trouble your party with sharp edges. Instead, I just want to get to the bottom of the matter and understand whether this is the culprit that did steal a very expensive item, which is highly prized, or whether we're onto a red herring. But either way, if you can help me procure said item, I'm sure we can split the prize. I've put many years on this journey, more than I think the prize may be worth at this point.
Oh, Saito, I would like to help you make sure that this is the case. What you've told me about what you have been commissioned to earn, I may be a good man to my party, but I am an even better man to that amount of platinum, and perhaps a cut of it if I could be of use to solving this. I don't think that Xander is your man, but I agree. We should get to the bottom of this, and I would like to be as much help as I possibly can, especially if it would mean you cutting me in on just a taste of that sweet gold.
Aye. Red Cloud, how do you feel about this as well?
Well, it's all quite interesting. I will help to a degree, but I don't take a side at the moment. I still want to learn more.
Understandable. Now, all I'm saying is, if he is the thief we're looking for, know you have a thief amongst your party. And I would like to take him in, but otherwise, if it is not appropriate, I am greatly outnumbered with my friend Cecil, even though he's 2 or 3 men, and probably could weigh a good fight. It would be entertaining at least, but more than anything, I just would like to know that he is not the man, so I can continue on my journey finding the correct person. And for that, I would even pay you, as it saves me and my gentleman time.
Well, how do we ascertain to your satisfaction that our man Xander is not this thief?
I believe if we brought Xander into the room, all of us, and just asked him point blank, if he's a good man like we think he is, nothing will be done of the matter. Everything will be fine. An innocent man has nothing to fear.
It is very noble of you, Red Cloud, and for that I will remember. But with the price on the finding of this loot, I would recommend that we go into town and get his flute identified. And with that information, we will know the crafter of such an item. And if that crafter is Zelwad Higglehoff, then I must dig into this further. But if it is not, I will have no quarrels with you. I will pay you 800 gold for the quick delivery that this is not the man I am looking for, and we'll be on our way. Now, that being said, I don't necessarily have 800 gold in cash, but definitely in items and plundering goods.
We cross that bridge. We cross that bridge when we get to it. But all of this presumes that we make it out of these caves alive. And so I say to you, we will help you to find that Xander is not your man to your satisfaction, provided you help us and yourselves get out of this cave alive, and especially to make sure that all the dwarf engineers and Pike's men with us leave with their lives as well. You help us, and we can help you.
Cecil puts his giant hand down next to you. Aye.
I give Cecil's hand a firm shake with my regular-sized hand.
The admiration is well endowed upon you both. You have my word that we will get out of here alive. All of us.
Excellent. It's good to count on you, big man. Thank you.
Just then, Xander and Super come back. Yay, Xander and Super. Super has a blood drop falling down his jaw. You both catch it just as he kind of like does this and kind of hides it.
Super. Fancy seeing you again. How are you? How are things?
You're muted, Super.
He kind of like, better is what he says. Sorry, that's it.
Yes, Super and I just had quite an experience in the tunnel, actually. But we had a nice heart-to-heart, and I understand Super better, and I believe he understands me.
Very good. I'm gonna make there'll be a little bit of a pregnant silence, but I'd like to make significant eye contact with Red Cloud. See where he's at. Like look at Red Cloud and look at Super. Look back at Red Cloud. And
Red
I guess
Cloud, what do you look like?
Say again.
Super just got back, and I'm over here thinking about what you were talking about before we started talking about Xander. And I'm just giving you a look, and I'm looking at Super. I'm trying to sort of gauge. I'm like, I'm trying to gauge where you're at. You know, if you're still on if you're still on go time, or if we've gotten sufficiently distracted by this conversation with Siddle that we are now just going to welcome Super, Toe, and Ring together back into our party. And probably apologize for breaking his toe.
I'm fully prepared to hold that man down and cut off that toe.
And you say this out loud, yeah. That was Red Cloud's voice. You 100% said that out loud. Super, give me a perception check, Super.
All right.
If you get over a 5, you hear it.
If it's over a 5, okay, well, then I definitely hear it.
All right, game on. Super, what's your reaction?
Just because I'm prepared to cut off a man's toe doesn't mean I will. I just know that ring is taking over our friend.
Roll me a perception, Red Cloud, or a persuasion. Not that you're good at it, but roll me a persuasion nonetheless. Ooh.
Everybody else hear that?
Yeah.
It's better.
All right, went away.
I don't know why I did that. I believe that.
Anyway, Super, what's your reaction to hearing Red Cloud say, "Yes, I will cut off"?
He's like what? I don't know. Like, I feel like he's kind of stunned because after his whole ordeal.
Xander's going to put his hand on Super's shoulder and say, "Gentlemen, please, please. We've been through enough already.
17 total.
Let's focus on getting out of here, and let's deal with the toad later. It's been too much today. Too much."
With Xander and Red Cloud's persuasion, Super, you don't feel as defensive as you probably need to be. You feel a little warmed up.
Right, yeah. And I'm just like, still kind of like emotionally distraught and coming out of it. So I'm like, kind of like, all right. And I recognize too that this is a problem. I already did. Whoa, that is way too bright. Holy shit. Yeah. So makes sense to me.
Can't wait until we get rid of this town. Well, I'd like to sidle over to Siddle and sort of whisper, like, we might need your help holding him down to get that toe ring off later too. Part of the deal, you know what I mean?
I'll jump in when I can, but I'll recruit the big guy. I'll let him know. Yeah.
Thank you.
So, are we just going to stay in this room all day, or are we going to find a way out of here?
Is there any other exit to this room?
Yeah, so as you guys took the north exit, you dug through kind of the northern cavern and actually went up a level in the sewer. So you're on the main level now. If you jump into Roll20, You do have the engineers who know a way out along this direction. You go ahead and you make your way, and I'm going to just kind of navigate through so you can get a layout of the map.
I'm still seeing the normal screen.
Yeah, me too.
Oh, damn it. You guys, okay. I haven't done too much in here. All right. Bada bing, bada boom, bam. All right. So these rocks up here were the entrance with the two dwarven statues. The door is still wide open. You guys continue north to a place that there is an exit, supposedly. The engineers talk about needing a raft of some sort, and there will either be one there or there will not be one there. As you guys make your travels.
You need to remove one of those characters, don't you?
Yep, I'm just gonna make the mob keep moving, and nobody's gonna be counting. And actually, the fucking doofus, man, I got a guy with a red cloak, and holy fuck! All right, he was like the perfect token for Tommy Two Tones. As you guys come in, there is a right that you guys pass, but you don't explore. Because the engineers are pulling you onward. Would you like to explore it as a party?
I can't think of why Show would be interested in exploring anywhere else that the engineers weren't saying was going towards the exit.
Yeah, I would say we're looking just to get out right now.
I am probably, honestly though, Show would probably be like, where's Tommy Two Tones? Everybody seen Tommy Two Tones?
Perhaps he's still back there, or perhaps one of those cavern creatures got him.
Well, well, that was fast.
I mean, who knows? I mean, he wasn't there keeping up with us.
The
He is a wiry son
pikeman,
of a gun.
the pikeman speaks up and goes, "He said he was going on a smoke break. He went this way, but that is probably 40 minutes ago."
He might be a long way ahead of us.
Right, we probably just haven't caught up to him yet. I bet that bastard knew the way out all along.
Show's ready to shrug that off.
All right, you shrug it off. And as you guys continue, you find your way into an open portion of this cavern where it was kind of thin and then wider and thin and wider. The top of this cavern was rather tall. Suddenly the top of the cavern kind of comes down, and or the ground kind of comes up, and it's about 8 feet tall now. Cecil, is kind of looking up. He already struck his head 2 or 3 times as the cavern had been coming down, and he's pretty fucking irritated. You can tell just the way he's walking. He's kicking stones and like, fuck. His cap keeps getting straightened, but it's not in the pristine place where it should be. You guys make your way to what looks like an underground river of sorts. Something very similar to what your twig friend might have described to you before.
Right?
The engineers are looking around and don't seem... They start looking around corners, looking for a raft, and don't seem to see anything. Well, the exit's just to the left here. We have a hop skip down the river, though. Not to think any one of you can cast a spell that summons a boat, do ya?
No, I'm afraid that's not for me.
How about this peasanting that Red Cloud was talking about?
Peasanting?
Yeah, he said he could make a board. He called it peasanting, and he could ride on the waves.
Red Cloud, you have a way to do this for us.
My God.
Red Cloud has then gone drunk and his face first in the soil. I can't use the drunk thing anymore. I'm sorry.
Damn, it's so fast, Red Cloud.
So he has a bottomless pit of rum, and so
That's right. Isn't that like a special item that he got?
yeah. So you guys came to the beach. You guys were looking for the raft, and he is not part of your. Yeah. He's part of your party. He's over here now, rolling in the bones, literally rolling, completely fucking inebriated. You didn't realize how drunk he was getting, but apparently along the way has been guzzling rum. He gets fails on any Constitution throw for the next 2 hours, and dexterity throws are at disadvantage. He is of no assistance to you at this moment.
But strength's at an advantage, right?
Only in his mind.
Well, blast. Well, I mean, like, I don't see any kind of a board on him anyways, do I? He doesn't have anything in his back or anything like that?
He has some sort of a plank of wood that seems to be well-fashioned.
Okay, well, I see over there, Red Cloud is now rolling in bones, but I did see that he has some sort of a board on him, and it looks like maybe he could carry, I don't know, how many people? Maybe one or two?
It seems to be a one-person board for a dwarf. But if you're trying to just float as a raft, there's ways you might be able to jimmy rig it if you can get a little bit more flotation on it. You could probably put 2 people on it.
All right.
Is there anything in this area over here?
It seems rather flat. There are roots and things like this. You do notice there were a few crates behind you that have been smashed open, some that are still there. I mean, this was a storage locker for the town for some time in its beginning portions. So there are boards that are around.
Could I potentially cast plant growth on some of these roots and stuff that you mentioned and like use it as kind of like a bridge to get us across?
Go ahead and read plant growth to me.
Yeah, so it would also like kind of, well, I'll just read it. The spell channels vitality into plants within a specific area. There are 2 possible uses for the spell, granting either immediate or long-term benefits. If you cast the spell using 1 action, choose a point within range. All normal plants in a 100-foot radius centered on that point become thick and overgrown. A creature moving through the area must spend 4 feet of movement for every 1 foot it moves. So, like, it would make it tougher to walk through. You can exclude 1 or more areas of any size within the spell's area from being affected. If you cast a spell over 8 hours, you enrich the land. I'm not going to be doing that, but so we don't need to finish that. But maybe later I'll do it, but not right now.
So what I would say is you can give more float to a piece of live wood than it would otherwise have.
Oh, no. I thought you mentioned there was like some roots and stuff around there. Maybe I was...
Yeah, there are roots. You can get them to flourish, but you can't get them to flourish and make a bridge, right?
I understand.
So,
Gotcha.
So what I mean is you can get them to grow substantially for a certain amount of time, and that would produce enough wood to give them more float.
Right. I see what you're saying.
You could.
Spells. I'm not sure if I want to use one of the slots.
You could do that and make the embankment maybe passable on the north side. So up here. You could grow it along so that you could pass it, assuming everyone gets a dex save of 5.
Yeah, I might as well do that just to make things easier. Sure, I will do that. Bam. Casted.
All right, bada bing, bada boom. Everybody roll me a dex save. I'll roll for all our extenuous party members. And motherfucker gets disadvantage.
Damn, my roll's been
21.
garbage. What the?
Yeah, you've not been having a hot day for rolls, man. Andy.
Yeah, man.
17 a disadvantage for your boy.
I rolled a 10.
Oh, you rolled 2? I already got you.
8. I got the Ocho over here.
I got 8 plus 3, so 11 for dexterity.
21.
All right, 8's more than 5. We got a 19 and an 8 for and a 16 and a 9 for the rest of the party. So you guys make it over here. I'm just going to move you along. But at this point, you guys move along these ways. Go ahead and watch in case there's anything that you would like to use later in this campaign. You move around this very large pool of water. You notice an island in the middle. In the middle, you see a lot of bones kind of placed on that island, which you find fascinating. It's too far of a distance to be able to tell what any of these bones are. And just as you are looking at the bones, you come to this point and look to your left. And that darkness there is actually not darkness. That's a hole in the ground. And you notice footprints. You notice crab-like claw prints erupting from this hole. This hole right here.
Oh, like we're right on it. Okay.
You are right on it.
But all the bones are collected on the middle island, right? Not here?
They're all up here, yep.
Right. And it doesn't seem, are there like a significant amount of bones around this hole? I figured there might be.
There is no bones around the hole. It seems to be highly trafficked.
Fair. Yeah, makes sense. Huh. Can I look up? Is there like a hole where all these bodies... What my guess is that this is like a place where somebody's been dumping the trash, if you would, to put it grotesquely. They're tossing bodies down here and letting the crabs finish. Is there an opening up above?
There is no opening above.
Wow. All right. Well, there goes that theory.
So, how far away is that island, do you think?
Luckily, we have a tool. 35 feet.
All right, I'll cast dancing lights in a direct line straight out through there, and that would light up that whole island.
Indeed, it would. And the island is almost U-shaped, in a really long U. I'm going to just put you there just so you know what it looks like. On this island, you can see... Give me a perception check, all of you. Except Red Cloud, he sees the nose in front of his face.
17 total.
I can see that I've put the lights out there.
All right. It's good to know that your spell was successful. With a 17, you're able to describe to everybody that there are a lot of bones of four-legged creatures. You can take a good sense that there are foxes and coyotes, as well as piles of hundreds of rat carcasses, except that the rat carcasses have no flesh on their bones. There are a few larger creatures as well, though you can't completely make out their shape.
Wait, so the rats have flesh on their bones while the other ones
Not at all. None of it has flesh.
have
on
no
it.
flesh? So none of them. Same thing with the bigger animals as well.
Completely.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, yeah. Let me make sure.
Oh, this is horrifying.
What makes them collected in the middle there is what.
No, maybe this is where whatever creature comes from that hole goes to consume its prey. Maybe it goes out and hunts it and brings it back up through this hole into this area.
Right. I mean, I'm
Eats it
just
up.
looking at these kind of claw marks, and it resembles a crab kind of claw, if I'm not mistaken.
Roll
It's
me
just
an intelligence
like-
check, Super.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like something an intelligent, a dumb creature would do. Is what I mean. Just gather them up like that. Intelligence is actually pretty good. Is 19 total.
So you caught a glimpse in your mind of the claw marks these previous creatures you found down here were producing. The Zergling-like creatures, if you will.
Right.
You killed a number of them. But it seems that this might be the hole that they're coming from.
Should I just shoot my tidal wave down the hole?
Well, I mean, they burrow through ground like it's nothing. So I mean, there's no point collapsing the hole.
Right.
The engineers are saying, "Oh, well, is there anything we can do to help?"
You know, I have a small idea. This is a hole, and that's a lake full of water. Perhaps we can wrench over the 10 feet and just let this lake drain into that hole.
That is a great idea.
Let me do some calculations. It'll only take about 5 minutes.
Oh,
We're
all right.
willing to wait.
Absolutely.
Yeah, 5
Let's
minutes.
do it.
And I'll
All
help.
right.
I have mold earth cantrips, so I'll do that, help them out too. Anyway.
Oh, yes, I forgot about the molders. That reduces an hour of time. This would take us about an hour to do.
Wait, I thought you said 5 minutes.
That's to do
No.
the calculations.
Yes.
Oh, well, okay. Well, yeah. No, I guess if we're willing to, yeah. Pardon me. So yeah.
In that case, as we dig, Super, please roll 1d20 for me.
All right. Ooh, 19 again. Rolling.
That's how many's coming out the hole, Super.
Oh shit.
Fuck, I didn't think I was going to bring it. You got a 19?
Yeah. That's flat. I don't know what the modifier was.
There is no modifier. You
19.
guys begin to dig. The eerie nature of you, the back of your neck stands up. The engineers hit something hard as they dig. The water has become about halfway. They're about to dump it in, and they've hit something hard.
What'd they hit?
You guys go and dust it off. And it seems they've hit some pile of gems subsurface.
Whoa.
Is Soupy seeing this?
Super is in fact seeing this. Roll me a perception check. If you get higher than a 10, you definitely see this.
Oh, not good. Perception, you said?
Yep. It's taken an hour, so...
6 total only, actually.
Ooh, you do not see this, Super. Thank goodness for the party. The engineers, they call over Red Cloud, as he's a fellow dwarf. And Red Cloud falls into the hole, and then they pull him out, and then look for help. Super Xander, you come helping, but because Red Cloud has inebriatedly fallen face first into the hole. And you see he fell face first into the hole of sapphires.
Ooh.
All right, let's get him out.
So you're able to pull him out. The engineers tell you it was an hour of work, and this seems that we have struck gold, but maybe better. The only issue here is that it would take another hour and a half, maybe 2 hours to mine these out if we'd like to accomplish our first goal. That being said, it should pay for itself, but hey, our life is in your hands. And by the way, thank you so much for keeping us alive. This has been one hell of a journey.
Gentlemen,
Please.
you have been mining this trench across here. You've done a lot of work down here. As far as I'm concerned, you are entitled to a massive share of these gems if you mine them out.
You keep us safe, we'll mine them out.
So I figure at this point, if you mine these, we may just be working for you.
Go ahead and roll me 2 d20s, Xander.
A 17. And a 12.
So as they're digging, the first hour goes by fine. One of the gentlemen is mining. One of the gentlemen started mining, and then the other, when he was supposed to be digging, started mining because, well, it's a hell of a lot of sapphire. So they start pulling that out. The first hour goes very well. The water kind of begins to come up. They push it back. They do some engineering work. They're harvesting copious amounts of sapphire. They've handed at least one that's 10 gold pieces to everyone who's here to begin with. So go ahead and add 1 sapphire of 10 gold, or just 10 gold for you. It's exchanging like money. The second hour, as they continue, the ground starts to shake in front of them near the hole, and the bottom of the hole collapses, and there's no need to dig any further because the ground in which they were digging collapses. They're able to procure a hell of a lot of sapphire, but all the rest of the ground collapses. The water starts just rushing. It's about 3 or 4 feet deep, but it's a lot of water. And a lot of water does not deteriorate 3 to 4 feet without a lot of flow. And this continues for more than 10 minutes. It seems like the water level has only decreased maybe a half a foot. There's still 2.5, 3 feet left as water is rushing through this hole. There's sapphire still to be seen, but you have a conglomerate that these engineers have put together and have tied to their own backs and are ready to take out. In theory, what you're looking at, you can wait some time for the water level to decrease and you could mine more sapphire. Or you can continue on. Who knows what the future holds? It's probably a few hours before the water evens out.
Personally, I think we should keep looking for an exit to this.
I'm good with that. This was a good detour and very profitable for you gentlemen.
You can always come back here and continue to mine the sapphire for your own benefit, but as far as I see it, our duty down here doesn't involve necessarily enriching ourselves with treasure.
Right. I think it's probably best we get back, as I said at the beginning of everything we did here. Before we did all this.
As you guys walk, one question is brought up. Hey, boss? how do we split up all the sapphire we got? Just asking, before I tell my wife, because expectation setting's everything, and I've always fucked her over a little bit with talking things up. I'm just wondering, is this all for us?
I don't know what kind of operation you guys are running down here in Ironton, but I would think that you would come back to Elamar, who sent you down here, tell him about everything that happened, including the sapphire, and him being your superior in some respect would then decide how to allot that. Unless you are looking to go rogue out here and start collecting the sapphire. I don't know if that's what you were implying. You seem like honorable dwarves to me, though.
Honorable indeed. I don't know what you're questioning, but I'm just okay. In that case,
help you decide how it would be divided.
Indeed it would. And they just shut up. I like the admiration, and I'm glad that you seem to be an honest protector. We've had other sorts, if you will. I appreciate that we do not need any protection from our protectors.
None taken.
You
will not need any from us. Our job is to get you out safely.
Super's like, hey, what are you guys talking about?
Just these gems here.
Nothing.
Just we hit a whole buttload of valuable gems. And just then you guys come to a railroad track of sorts. He goes, the exit's right up here. This is an exit about 20 miles northern of town. But this should take us back. No issue. And by 20, I meant 10. Because coming up with random numbers, thinking about maps. 10 miles just north of town, outside the gates. It's only a few more minutes, and you guys erupt into the forest on a coastal town. The sound of seagulls kind of come to your ear. You are now no longer subterranean. The breath of salt air has never been sweeter, if you will. The sound of a bird has never felt more comforting. Siddle and Cecil are talking to themselves, but very much a part of the party. Going, my God. All right, gentlemen, we made it. This is the sea in which I sailed my boats. It's good to make it to the surface once again. I take it we'll remain a party until we get to the sweet walls of Ironton, in which I don't mind sharing my wares and some of the black market if you guys want to ponder magical items in Ironton. I know the right people to talk to. There's one thing I'll tell you about Ironton. It's all about who you know. And gentlemen, I know.
This was one of
I,
the.
for one, am glad to be out of the sewers.
Was
and I
this
will
one?
pull out my flute and play a happy tune as we begin walking our way back.
All right, Andy, 1 second there. Xander, in that entire journey, how is it that you were disguising your lute as a flute?
Well, he always had the lute. Since he'd had the lute, he put the cloak over top of it.
Okay.
And so that way it was underneath his cloak, but anytime he would take it out, he would change the color of it. But he never took it out. So he was always playing his flute when they were around.
Okay. And we already rolled for this, just so you know.
Right. That was in last game.
It was indeed. Andy,
I wanted to know who was that was speaking when they were saying that they knew about the black market and the items. Was that one of the dwarves or was that Siddle?
That was Siddle.
Siddle, gotcha. He's aware that would make sense on the black market in town. Okay, noted.
And on that, if there's nothing else, we will conclude tonight's episode. Thank you all for joining, all of you party members out there. Stay tuned for the Q&A and/or us chatting and/or anything else that the people are going to question and/or continual role play. Either way, I think this was actually a pretty well-rounded episode.
I had
a boom, cut a pow. Yeah,
I enjoyed it. So,
Yeah, me
but rather than give anything away with our talking afterwards, I think we should just go ahead and end it and then talk, right?
Yeah, don't let them in on it.
Yeah, I know.
And tune into next episode, and you'll see all the good stuff.
Bye.